Today we're going to be talking about the E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber. It is a small business classic for a reason. It is a fantastic book, and if you haven't read it yet, you really should. Let me start this review by telling you a little bit about my own story, because I think it might resonate with you. Back when I started my business, I was a tech. I was a pretty good tech. I could talk to people. All that stuff was kind of in my favor. So I said, hey, I'm going to start my own business, and I'm going to make it big in the business world. So I started my computer consultancy business, and it came out of the gate strong. I had a number of projects that were scheduled. My former company hired me back to do some projects for them, and after the first several weeks, I was rocking and rolling, and then all my projects were over, and I didn't have anything to do. And this was back in the days where it was all break fix, and so if you weren't billing, you weren't earning. I was stuck trying to figure out what to do next. This was the first of many lessons I learned the hard way, from invoicing issues to client issues to not knowing how to kind of land sales. There are so many lessons I learned the hard way, and it seemed like it was lesson after lesson after lesson as I was trying to grow that business. Somewhere along the line, somebody recommended this book. I promptly picked it up, and then I was too busy to read it because I had all this other stuff going on, trying to get my invoicing out and trying to close new deals and all those kinds of things. And I didn't read it for a long time, like 20 years. But I had sold the business, moved back across the country, and had several jobs between then when I finally read it. Ironically, it was when I was getting ready to join my current company, Pax 8, that somebody recommended it in the interview process. So I listened to it while I was cross-country skiing, and it was like someone was telling me my story. Yeah, the story is about a baker. This baker is really good at baking. They love baking. But they stink at the rest of the business side of the world. That's the hardest part of all of this small business stuff, is working on the business. Working in the business is a thing that we've probably done for years and are good at. It's the working on the business stuff that's a challenge. So it was like they were telling me my own story back to me when I was listening to that book. So if I could go back in time and read that book back when I was running my business, would it have made me better? I don't know, maybe. I'd like to think so, but the reality is it didn't happen that way. Don't let that be you. Learn from my mistake and read this book if you haven't read it already. It is absolutely worth your read or your listen. With that wraps up my very first book review on my channel. Thank you for coming on this ramble with me, and I hope to see you on the next one.